what might be better into a Tucson hospitality? Maybe Tattle Wing, since I just go very low to the ground, very wide in hand. I'd get gone back into the deck, since crew is already here to give thrust for Lara Doran. Double Ruckus Nest can help with establishing that swarm. On the other side, Covey is here for Lyria, so that's always reassuring to obtain, considering there are a couple non-tactic specials / artifacts. Otherwise, it's a bunch of tortoises and not too much great synergy in Lyria's hand, I'd say. And Hive Mind found on, I believe, the last mulligan hit for Archie, so should have a pretty decent time contesting round 1. Curious when that Hive Mind will be committed.
Yeah, okay, so we don't have the leader charges on the screen, so Lemon will be guiding us through that when necessary, but we are good to go to start the winners bracket final between Dario and Archie. Let's go, and yeah, the idea is to swarm, so Archie is not really waiting with that. Establishes 5 drones on the board. You are happy to have a target to buff as the Tosantos Hospitality player, but they mostly will be starting at 1, maybe 3 power occasionally. There is a bronze or 2 that is getting pulled from the Hive Mind, but other than that, you'll start from the ground, basically 0 here.
Yeah. Maybe a spontaneous evolution could give you a slightly taller target. And yeah, we do see the Hive Mind here used to contest the round 1. If possible, I think Archie would love to save the Lara Doran to be able to just play it off Nagfar's crew and then use the girls into Ardgaith for the instant proc in the same round, because if you're able to, that really only forces you to have a big swarm established in 1 round, maximize your payoff. So if you can win the round with just Hive Mind, well, I think Archie will be happy with that. Lirio probably looking to at minimum force out Lara Doran, at least that's the thought process I'll be going through, but I'd imagine Lirio is more familiar with this matchup than myself.
Okay, so we see Drowner being sent back to the bottom of the deck by the Curse Scroll, and I guess with the lack of Kahir it makes sense because nothing else is roll locked. I'd need to check on Kahir if he is still, but I would believe that he is melee locked, so yeah. That is...
He is melee locked, but not a consideration since Lirio is not running.
Yeah, so since that is the case, the Drowner goes back. Otherwise, yeah, you probably are interested in that card.
Yeah.
And the points. Lara is just printing them, but we do see a Kikimor worker growing to 18. I mentioned that there is like a card or 2 that will be growing, and we do see Nagelfar's crew getting a couple of extra engine points. Kikimor hatchling has grown to 6, but yeah, if you'd want to steal power, if you could somehow, then yeah, 18 is a nice start. As mentioned, Lara is potentially a nice tool to have to push in round 2, but yeah, Archie definitely wants to win the round, and for that he has to get some points, because to Santa's Hospitality, while buffing your opponent, is still producing quite the value, and yeah, secret anti-synergy of Frost and Artfane Tortoise is exhibited here. Like maybe Archie didn't really want to damage those too much.
Yeah. Keep in mind the Hive Mind was only half resolved. There's still the Kikimor Warrior and Kikimor Stalker to come out later on. That's why Archie held off using some additional drone spawns to ensure that those were saved for future rounds. Quite a bit needed to catch up here for Lyra. I wonder if this Beauclair is going to be forced, or okay, maybe just the Ivar coming from the War Council.
Yeah.
So it's one of your bigger payoffs for your boosty plays already gone. As a result, I don't. Or is Heatwave enough?
Yeah,
Well, Heatwave would do the trick, so probably gonna see the Heatwave instead.
The heat waves is only realistic target is what, the Morgoth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or something you boost up, but it's actually the Ivar. So I'm a bit surprised by that. Maybe values having the more consistent answer for the Morgoth now that Lyra does have that last say. But with War Council played, kind of incentivized to push the round 2 here, make use of that order, and also establish your Truffle, your Ale of Ancestors, maybe even the Beauclair click. You also don't mind disrupting the Swarm for Archie. Giving them less time to set up the Swarm means the cap of the Lardorn is significantly lower as well. Now, there is... Okay, keeps the Illusionist, interestingly. I think drawing into the Sangreal or False Siri would be a bit awkward. I think only having access to one of them. Also, this isn't super great matchup for False Siri anyways, because of the Indrega Warrior in Archie's deck. But there is a possibility to one-turn proc the False Siri if you have the Ale sitting on board. You can play False Siri for brew her, leader brew her, and Ale boost her. So you deny that possible counterplay. So
Lyra values the War Council click and plays into the round at least a little bit, maybe stealing some Swarm out of Archie's possession. It's still full leader, right? For Archie?
yes, correct. Keep in mind in this list, there's Elf Ancestors, but there's no Mahakam Ales or Golden Froths, so no extra synergy coming out from these infusions.
Okay, we do see Archie getting ahead here.
The scary thing about this lay to Lara Dorn is that you saw in the round 1 how the Naglfar's crew had to be played first before the Lara Dorn could be played. Whereas now all Archie needs to do is just play the Gales and the Lara Dorn instantly procs the same turn. So there's no kind of forced setup that would give Lyra a chance to pass as a answer in a sense. So there's an argument to go for the Truffle Illusionist. You do have the 7-point Kikamorwek, which can be spawned with the Bonded. But are you worried about that armor only at 3 being a bit of a downside? Well, considering you're only getting a 4-power unit otherwise, I don't think it's that much of a downside.
Yeah, it's 1 point difference if it gets popped.
Yeah.
Heatwave is being kept, no answer to the warrior. There we go. The answer wasn't delayed.
No. The problem here as well is that without last say, the Heatwave isn't going to be able to find the Morgoth. So I think Lyra kind is forced to play into this round to try to get back that last save, but I don't see that happening since this Lara Dorn is getting so much worse in the next round that Archie, if need be, can always just commit it to catch up and then as a result not feel too bad about it. By the way, 1 leader charge used, there is now 4 leaders remaining for Archie.
And we do see a pass, so Lerio says that he is accepting the situation and establishing 2 artifact carryover is maybe not enough, but yeah, good enough. He did also get the full hive mind out of Archie, if I'm not mistaken, so did deny something, but now Archie has Tatterwing plus more foot finishers that you can't really interact with. One because of the immunity, other because, well, no last say, and we do see Illyrio Mulligan in the heat wave.
Yes, so Sangreal can still be used with the Milton, I suppose. And kind of acts for bonus points on the Guillaume in a sense. Also, I'd note that the Beauclair, despite Tattooing being immune, Beauclair's deploy will still work and set an allied unit to 25 points. So that's kind of an equalizer. And the other nice thing is the Blightmaker here is going to give Illyrio 3 small power bodies, which are really nice when it comes to setting up to a higher power with the Beauclair. But we have Heatwave and Spores for Archie. That can basically deal with 2 of the taller units that Illyrio is going to be bringing out. So I'd say Archie's looking to be in a pretty decent spot right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There is a Royal Decree giving another control in Sarkwan or Endrega Warrior, as you mentioned. The full city, if not flipped immediately, is in danger.
So it looks like the Blightmaker roll coming out here. I'd really rather it not hit the Night Wraith for obvious reasons. And yeah, able to successfully kill a rat. Kind of fitting, I guess, that the Blightmaker doing plague kind of things is working with the rats.
Yeah. It's in his blood. So Swarm is being established, nothing really to do against it for Illyrio. There was Imperial Diplomacy into the Forktail line that he didn't get to go for. We've seen that yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's
I'm
usually
not convinced it
devastating.
changed the outcome of that game, but that was just maybe the 10th nail in the coffin. Yeah, so this 6 power unit is probably what Illyrio is going to be focusing on boosting up with the Milton, Sangreal, and the Bruhertz that don't end up going onto the 4th series, I'd imagine. Hey, actually just plays it straight out here. Not trying to let the Milton stick. I'm a bit surprised by that.
Okay, all in on the Swarm. And
okay, I guess...
Go.
Sorry. I was just going to correct myself. I think that, yeah, the Milton click will come in the turn the Guillaume gets played. The Guillaume should be boosting it by at least 12. So that's the Lara Dorman out. Frost, Illyrio may be a bit lucky that the Mage Assassin with the same row as the Blightmaker. What do you do next here as Illyrio? When do you play this Beauclair? When do you play this full series, do you think?
I wonder. So, what's the series situation against the Consume? With Buchor, she goes to 4, with Ale, she goes to 7, and the leader is still intact, right?
Yes.
And
I choose full leader.
There is also a Buchor from the graveyard. Okay, then you're not doing anything drastic, as in using the Ale, the Mushet Raffle offensively. We do see fast cameo by the knight, and it gets answered immediately. So now there is Guillaume for the drone with Beauclair. But there is also like spores for Archie to potentially just reset your own drone. It's it's a lot of value if done like, about now or next turn.
Yeah, this Berkeley will be a lot of points, but I talked about it sort of nullifying the Tatterwing. Well, there's a much higher unit in 36 power drone right now. The Berkeley order will be able to nullify the Tatterwing as well, since the Heatwave was used by Archie. But this Yarmouth's not even looking that great, considering it's going to be knocked down to 2 power by the Seikwan. Or I think Seikwan counts itself even.
Yeah.
So it'll go down to 1 power.
But yeah, Archie is going wide and also claimed the last say. It's awkward. There are big swings, so when it's coming for Nilfgaard, yeah, we do see Beauclair here. And of course Archie has the spores to reset that buff immediately. He does get -12 from the infusion, unless he decides that it's better than Shark 1, but with the amount of swarm, I suppose it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Praise be to the great sun!
At the same time, well, it's a Beauclair reset then.
I'm a bit surprised by the Lirio sequencing here, because Force Siri is still an engine. Like, when you get her on your side of the board, she's still doing 1 point per turn, so I'm a little surprised she was left till the very last turn here.
Yeah. There is a big gap, and I don't think she's closing that, plus answering Morwood, so to say. So the Tatterwing succeeds in its game plan, and we are closer to Sonjo's hospitality mirror at some point of this series. And we do see that, yeah, Morwood is more than enough to close that 1 point gap caused by the infusion from Rael, so congrats to Archie on this first game victory with his Tatterwing.
Let's on blue coin previously. Might see that again.
Yeah,
red coin for Archie should just be Toussaint. Tournament hand for Lirio, likely gonna go back to the bottom of the deck with the Cursed Scroll. Mulliganing the Last Wish. Cyclops could be quite impactful here if there is sort of a decent sized body to kill off a Damned Sorceress perhaps. There is the Damned Sorceress for Archie in hand, as well as the Vandergrift. And a Knight Errant can find access to Immortals with either the Neomancy or AA, which have both been found in hand. Also Lady Lake sitting there to get the Erendite for later rounds as well.
Yeah, pretty nice draws as far as the Echo goes.
Yeah, pretty nice draws, pretty nice draws, pretty nice draws.
Access, I didn't come up with a nice way of delivering the line, so I appreciate you combining on that. So operator access was available to Lirio, and we do start with the Self-Eater, being the knight number 1 Archie gets on his side of the board.
Does end up committing the decree for that. Likely going to see Curse Scroll either finding the Unicorn to set up the Unicorn Kyrenex for the round 1. Could also find the Damage Crone to get the 6 damage here, but might be a little bit late by the time that 6 damage would be necessary.
And everyone's favorite, Immortals. Damned Sword in hand, Echo available for the second one if the Cyclops has some say.
Yeah. So curious. Okay, so we don't see a split. Split there maybe would be sort of telegraphing the desire to go for the Unicorn Kyrenex in the round 1. It does sacrifice a bit of carryover, but also plays for extra 2 points and potentially even more later. But considering the AA is still potentially available, or even the second down sorceress could be in hand, it might not really be that wise for Lirio to kill this down sorceress when the other could just get out of range. Although, wait, how big would the down sorceress from AA be?
5 provisions, right?
Yeah, so it's 4 boosts, right? So it'll be 8, it'll be 10.
And
So you could also use a unicorn boost on the roach and then use a leader charge to set up a 10 power kill with the Cyclops.
yeah, that definitely gives some flexibility.
It's a pity I can never finish.
Okay, so that's the... They're just using lemon lines, the players.
Ooh, actually boost Self-Feeder instead. Okay. It's not what I was expecting there. And draws into the Fiend here. I don't know if that's really what you'd want. So yeah, like now if you want to use the Cyclops, you have to commit the leader and sacrifice the Self-Feeder. Which, when...
Yeah, throwing Self-Eater is... it's supposed to eat itself, not being thrown around by some other.
Yeah.
The Self-Eater only goes as far as being copied with Operator. Other than that, it's self-sufficient.
Axe or mace, sir?
There's also the threat of Squire into Vandergrift, which with the shield isn't easy to answer for Lirio. So maybe you're also feeling a bit threatened and you just use the Cyclops to pop this Squire. Also, Knight Errant is another thing you'd want to kill. This Cyclops is under a lot of pressure. So I am interested to see what it will end up answering. Okay.
So the engine combo, Lirio tried to answer it once, but after that, second Sork decided to let it be, and now this option goes kind of nuclear with the Knight Errant.
Yeah.
Providing shields when it hits the Grace, which with the Mad Charge available should be pretty soon.
The alternative is you could try to establish the Vandergrift and give it this infusion from the Knight Errant. Not the biggest deal, but actually, yeah, with both damn sources out, won't really do much. So yeah, you may as well just.
The Chief's Magic. Okay, we actually see the leader charge instead. And the lock. No carryover development, just trying to contain the engine.
Here's where it gets really bad for Lirio, because we have the Sorceress Immortals combo playing for 6 points per turn, 2 points passively on the Knight Errant, and whilst yes, you can proc all these Self-Feeders by playing your Gansian and Weavers, that's still only sort of 5 points per turn, but I guess your point slam does a little bit to outweigh that the Archie is playing here, so might be able to hang in a little bit still.
Yeah, if it was 8 passive points, it would have been devastating, but at least Arch actually needs to click, so even here, it's not getting ahead yet.
Arendite is at 0 damage, so Archie can only really afford to play these 2 cards.
Hit actual 0.
Yeah, actual 0. Despite all these passive points, still not actually getting ahead. And
yeah, I'm a bit surprised, like it didn't register with me, but I assume after the second Sork, after the Knight Errant leader combo as well, there would be an opening, but apparently not.
Yeah. And also, I think Lirio could have started splitting that Self-Feeder in that turn 1, like a turn earlier, when I described the split, I don't think it would have been 2 power. I don't think it would have been answerable by like Central Knight. There's no 3 power. So then that would have maybe given an additional self-leader before the unicorns got paid and given a slight little edge, which might have ended up making the difference. Actually seeing the Mad Charge played here, this is...
Well, it's enough with the body and engines, but yeah, it's hell of a funny to see the Iron Knight pop out here.
Yeah. And what this means is that this is going to be 3 Echoes coming into the top decks for Archie. So I don't think you mulligan any of them. Actually no, you mulligan the Iron Knight probably, and then try to go into maybe the Heatwave, Maiden's Shield, or Damsel.
You probably look at this Iron Knight at 1 damage, 2 next turn, 3 maybe turn after that, and consider that you'd need something else.
Yeah. You might just be forced to keep this Curse 9 in all honesty, because your Iron Knight is sort of locked up finding the Damsel in Distress, then you need 2 Knights to proc it. If you mulligan to the Curse Knight, and you found a Pella, an artifact removal, a Squirrel, a Heat, honestly even a Heat Wave, then you wouldn't be able to double proc your scenario in this situation, which I'm pretty sure is just the play you go for. I think you just slam the scenario and the Maiden's Shield, and just get the Grace and the Vandergriff, force out the Golden Necker, and then try to win out this short round. Thing is though, with such a small Iron Knight, not sure how the short round for Archie would look in a round 3. Maybe I'm thinking too far ahead though. Let's see how this Damsel in Distress goes. Will this Damsel get rescued? Or will Lyria be the one needing rescuing?
Yeah, so both Witch Apprentice and Fiend are available in the graveyard, so no empty bronzes for the Necromancer Stone. Later we'll have Damage Crown, Riptide for the next round, and yeah, I don't believe he can try and get out of the round without committing Golden Necker. In all honesty, you just seen Damsel in Distress landing. Like, there is no way your opponent is passing.
I think you just slam the Golden Necker now. Okay, maybe you can go the Serenova first, sure. It doesn't make a huge difference, I guess, in that sequencing, because you don't have too many passive engines. You'll need to set up the Sabbath for the piggies regardless. But the nice thing is that due to only having the 3 cards, you know Archie can't both have Heatwave and fully proc this scenario. Also, the order on the Bronwyn won't have a chance to be clicked unless... I mean, okay, or you could, but that's not really doing awfully much, I guess.
The leader charges inspiration only buffing by 2, so you can only do that, yeah, next turn with...
Okay. Actually, no, you can get the Maiden's Shield and then give it onto the Vandergriff. That could be quite impactful. But what do we have here? So we have Last Wish finding the Gansteen. I expect that to be the play here.
Yeah. Should be.
Just bring it back, or maybe is it worth giving like a wrong or Knight Errant to bring back your 10 power Self-Eater instead? I think the Gansteen is slightly better, even though you don't have the proper Rad's Pocket. Actually goes for the Incubus, okay.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, it didn't seem like much of a difference. Oh, there you go, the damn Sork, as you mentioned, but 2 units under the shields as well. I guess, yeah, the Self-Eater is huge.
It's actually interesting. The Lady of the Lake with the Relic tag did come back, and that meant that the Self-Eater is actually 6 power in Archie's graveyard, so a little bit worse here. So there's Incubus shenanigans, but quite a big play. You do see the Bronwyn Infusion going over onto the Vandergrift. Bit of a threat potentially. If Arendite ends up boosting it in the next round, Arendite's still only at 3 damage. So, okay, that's not really doing much next round because no more mad charges remaining. But huge point gap here. We'll get the double piggies. They will be boosting, and there is a Fiend in the graveyard coming back for 7 points. 9 points on the leader for Lyria might be enough.
Should be enough.
And if Lyra makes this, it should just be a win. And it should be enough. Doing the maths, I think only 2 leaders need to be committed. Gets ahead by 1 with the 4 points from the piggies. So, yeah.
Keeps a leader charge, gets Siren Overstick in against the Wandergrift with the infusion.
Aaron died at 5 damage, would you look at that? And this is why I was a bit surprised to see the knights from the red coin, because your Aaron Knight sometimes just doesn't do anything on red coin, especially in a long round 1 like that, where you're just playing catch up. Like, yeah, you end up winning the round 1, but you would not ahead at any point. So in this round 3, okay, you have the heat wave, but not much else.
Riptide is a bit annoying as it's not clashing with anything, but I mean, you can play it for 10 points. Is Self-Eater deemed to be a better card? No.
Looks like no. I think it would have only made it up to 10 points with maximum. Or maybe more with a split, actually. I think maybe it could have been 11 with a split. Double split, I think.
So, are you baiting your opponent with Damsork again?
I mean...
To rip the shield and play Riptide? Probably not. This is a 6, Knight Errant shouldn't get to that value, so yeah, it's more of a joke suggestion.
Yeah. Especially since Archie's kind of forced to queue or play the Squire before the Windholm. Also threatens the, well, kind of forced to go Heat Wave onto the Self-Eater so it doesn't split and then make the Heat Wave worth less points as well. So this just delays the Squire and Windholm engine value at the same time.
Why is it so close? There's only 1 relict. I was thinking of, yeah, and the Gankian. Gankian is going for 11.
Yeah. As is, like, basically Squire first, and then Windholm, you're playing basically 7 points and 6 points.
Ain't you just finishing with the Squire?
I mean, it's more points to play the Squire first. Oh, actually, it's the same, because you end up getting the Knight Errant boost. It's going to be equivalent either way.
Yeah. I definitely did the math on the Knight Errant while saying it. Yeah. You are correct.
I forgot the point, so thank you for the totally intentional correction.
Okay, so it's 1-1. We did the math. It's 1-1.
Yes.
Okay, and the relics are doing well for Lerio once again, winning.
Which I'm pretty sure you were waiting for.
There we go. Presenting to you Gwent Metal Gwent, cast by Lemon and Kungfu, the Toussaint mirror. Well, not exactly mirror, but you catch the drift. It's pretty close. There are Kahirs, there are artifacts available for Lerio, what Archie is not running, but there is Purification. Is it a good target? The Bouclair? The Ale?
Probably.
I'm curious, yeah, I'm not sure how much the players played the mirror. Maybe in some prep. But Lerio was streaming yesterday. So when would you prep?
Prepping a ladder, perhaps? Considering how many points a reset can play for with how big units go in this matchup, I wouldn't be surprised if the verification just to deny the reset on the Beauclair ends up being worthwhile.
Look at this productivity.
I'd like to sort of characterize these decks by the slight differences in that Lirio is playing sort of more of the locations. There is the Truffle, there is the War Council, which gives a bit more flexibility when it comes to being pushed / pushing into round 2. On the other hand, Archie has more cards which actually synergize with the Tucson Hospitality game plan of boosting up opponents' units and then knocking them down. Running the gear here, which is very happy to be boosting opponents' units, of course. And also that additional toll punish in the Lyra Bonheart, which are probably going to play for a lot of points here. I'd probably say Archie is slightly favored because of that. But yeah, we'll see. And it's not going to come down to draws really in this sort of matchup since both players are playing Kungfoorabbit.
Yeah, the Lyrio Bonart might be the win con for Archie here. Indeed.
So, can I just point out the irony in Lyrio running the Kungfoorabbit leader skin whilst rocking the Emir icon? And Archie is the one actually running the Emir leader skin.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with the Emperor today. And there we go. Any BM? No?
Okay, goodbye 11 Parisian card.
Well. Now the decks are more similar to one another. Now that there is no war counts.
I mean, I guess. So now Archie just has one more gold than Lyrio.
Yeah, that is true.
Also, they both have ways to get sort of additional smaller bodies later on. Well, except Lyrio's was the Black Neck, which has already been played. Archie does have the double Nausicaa Brigade, which can come out in round 2, round 3 when an Elf Knight gets played. Or an additional, or a soldier like here potentially. That can give additional bodies to spread out the boosts, not give as tall targets for the opponent to reset or swap with the Ivar. But Lyrio's staying ahead right now. That Blackmaker helping to do so. Archie finally playing that slightly lower tempo play in the Kungfoorabbit. But now what does Lyrio do? It's not really cards that you're happy to commit in this round. I don't think Lyrio stands a chance in like a longer round 3. Last say is probably nice. But I mean, both of those reasons combined means I don't think you can pass here for Lyrio.
Yeah, kinda. A big mirror to be played here because I mean, maybe not. So there is still another game. I'm just concerned about Lyrio's matchup into the Toussaint. If he wins this, he'll need to beat it with the self wound. That shouldn't be a great feat. So maybe Lyrio actually is in search of a loss here to get his self wound against knights, but yeah, I'm kind of joking here. I'm just thinking of the potential matchup. This one is definitely a weird one.
You're not necessarily wrong, because if this deck almost... I'm not super familiar. It should be favored into knights. I don't know if I'd go so far to call auto win, but it should be favored, I would expect. Arguably, no matter the coin, then maybe being able to pick the coin with self wound ends up being more important. Maybe on a blue coin self wound to deny the erendite value, you might stand more of a chance. But yeah. I think, yeah, the self wound you really wanted to play up against that Tatooine list, but yeah, the game 1 fuse I think ended up being quite pivotal depending on what Archie was able to get through there. So continuing on. Just quite the lead here with the commitment on the Milton. Also the offensive Sangreal for Archie, probably just setting up this Ivar Evil Eye. And then, well, the 12 damage is still going to end up going through onto the Milton. And, yeah, poor Milton probably. But naturally, with both players having Ivar, we can just see a swap back and forth. Although with this Diviner being bigger, I think Lyrio's one would just play for the extra points. Because even though Archie has more combo pieces, if the round 2 ends up being too short for Archie to properly set up those combo pieces, then that might be where Lyrio's list is more able to shine, despite the War Council being destroyed through some very smooth diplomacy.
Yeah, so that's the problem of the first say in this round 1. Lirio could have stolen your boost from the Ivor, but he even gets a better one. So yeah, as you pointed out, plus... oh wait, no, that doesn't really matter much. The full damage goes onto the Milton.
Yeah.
No
Technically, he
point.
could have committed the Beauclair to get ahead, but yeah, decides not to do so, saves that for a later round.
Okay. So win on even for Lirio, but he lost 1 gold card. He also committed much more.
Yeah.
With the double knight, Guillaume and Milton being out.
Yeah. Both players played the Ivar, and whilst the Guillaume and Milton were played for Lirio, it was only sort of the Sangreal in response by Archie. But I don't think there's really any way to nicely shut down the false Ciri in this matchup, correct? So you can play her pretty safely and use Sangreal on her here for Lirio if need be.
Yeah, I don't think self-heatwave is a smooth way if it's
No,
allowed to stick, so yeah. And then that...
Yeah, may as well wait to try to bait the Sangreal at that point. So, yeah, here's the Cahill.
Supported by some soldiers, doing some thinning, but also providing the targets for the Beauclair. Lirio's small unit is probably coming from Illusionists now, or maybe Diplo, but yeah. The Blightmaker is in the deck for a reason.
Yeah.
Had to force it. It was forced out in round 1.
Yeah,
Because he was trying to prevent playing Guillaume and Milton at first.
Yes, and yeah, the False Ciri only has Bruja in Graveyard for Lirio, so a little bit limited in those kind of options. I think you have to play Truffle here to actually get bodies onto the board, no? Unless it's... Can you go something offensive with Sangreal playing uninteractive? That sounds super questionable to me. Okay, yeah, it is Truffle.
And do you even take Diviner? You don't really create much. So I don't think there is any harm in that.
So they're actually going offensive boost with the Aeol already is interesting to see. I guess aiming to play the Beauclair potentially entirely this... aiming to play the Beauclair this round perhaps? Interesting. But surely the Archie is kind of favoured here getting bled, because you get the chance to respond after Lyrio's set up all
Zero
the
gifted a
units.
tier
You have
1
at
sub
least
to
one turn to
2me99.
go
They
second
have given
here.
12 gift subs in the
Just
channel.
Sangreal. Interesting to see.
Look at this purify value from the Sangreal. Removing the infusion on Kahir. So, is it the false city turn? Should be.
Yeah, it might be. Okay, it is. Do you boost the full series here? And you need to have her come back.
Yeah, I guess a good reason to not leave points on your opponent's side. Those players are so generous, just buffing their opponent. This is like, yeah.
Yeah, how nice of them.
Very nice behavior from both. Two pros just respecting one another's stacks and just giving points away. Before the final battles in this, this is not a decider yet, so and they can allow themselves to do so. But the battles will come after this for the place in the final 4, or the only 4 of the Challenger. So we do see Beauclair. We do see Archie having yeah, the Beauclair of his own, and well, Dario can erase 36 points twice here. That's a big swing. But
if you're I don't think Lyra gains like anything really playing the leader here except bring the full series back, because the 9 points from the Bruja would end up being neutralized. So I wonder if you can just commit the Beauclair click and the Heat Wave to trade out for the opposing Beauclair click.
Yeah, true. Like the enough points should be, yeah. The erasing 72 points should be now. I don't like the road, but I guess Lero prefers the uninteractive gameplay.
Actually, yeah, remembering, I was kind of forgetting the 12 points on the gate here being lost, not that it matters here. But yeah, since Lero did win on even, it's not the end of the world, like not losing out on the card advantage, does have last say with the Beauclair reset and the Heat Wave.
What the difference of the top decks?
But yeah, I mean, with those two cards, you can kind of shut down 2 of the tall things, which Archie ends up playing.
Oh, double uninteractive play here. Another... No, another joust. Illusionist comes from the 4P slot, but there was a wide array of cards that could have ended up in Lerio's hand.
You're never able to break this, actually? Yeah, I'm interested in what gets played first here. Can Lyra break the Lyra Bonheart, considering Archie can always do 6 boost with the leader and AO combined? She just a Diplo finds a Norzka, oh my gosh.
I mean, considering Dario is playing an interactive, I guess. The Heat Wave. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe no Heat Wave here. So we do see Illusionists taking that. Diviner, there is one assimilate proc available from the Masha Truffle. What's your best of all city? You should go now if you want to get the maximum value, but at the same time you're just providing bigger heat wave. No, not bigger heat wave. To be fair, she's not growing as fast. Yeah, you have to buff one of your big units. So is it just the situation where Lero just had to commit a bit too much?
Maybe. Lyra can deny the Lyra Bon Heart here, well, in a sense, forces the offensive ale for Archie. But and that's if you save Knight for your last turn, or... but then you'd have to go for offensive. Or maybe you can just boost up the Diviner with the Just. I think that's a fine play. Okay, no, just goes. Okay, that's going to be the biggest unit. Probably makes sense. It is going to be, sure.
You'd have to offensively buff to get the Bonart value. That's not ideal.
Yeah, but it's still the best play here. I think now you just, do the defensive joust onto the Diviner. You're not giving any additional value onto this Bon Heart. You get a reset for 11 points on the current board state onto the full series. End up getting sort of 10 additional points from the leader, Mushy Truffle playing for a bit, even the Assimilates playing for a bit of value too. Yeah, this Beauclair order actually not doing anything for Archie, it turns out.
Maybe 3 points is better. Okay, no, goes for the Bonart setup.
Boost goes on to the full series, which is not ideal at all here for Archie, but surely this is too large to make up.
It's very close, but the target for Masha Trapper was stolen as well.
Yeah. Wait, I think it does it.
Wait. Wait, it actually does it by 3, even with the lost buff from the Masha. I thought maybe the unit disappeared will be the decider, but okay, turns out you can't win with the last save, but without the greatest cards. Good job by Lerio here managing the odd situation to find himself in, but as we talked, now he won. Now he has to beat Toussaint or Knights. Announcements, they are all available in that Discord, !Discord. But yeah, the Challenger is happening on July 30.
There is the Care Troll found already. We do have a Dracod, but not much to work with it, frankly. Maybe the Mask of Rubrus can find a bit of a nicer bronze. Spores is, yes, it's a 4 Persian bronze, but in this matchup, Spores can be very, very good, so I think you'd like to hold on to that.
Okay, finds Mardron, but I'm not sure how much do you want to buff your one target. Of course, you'll have to buff something. You run Draco Turtle, you run...
Yeah.
Stuff for that. So, but Mardrum is not being kept. It's going a bit too tall, a bit too fast when dropped into the turtle or the ship.
Yeah.
Praise be to the great sun!
I'm a little...
Yeah, not sure why the
I guess
kid was...
Knight is still like 1 more point if there's no enemy body under this leader compared to otherwise, so I guess it makes slightly more sense.
Okay, yeah, considering the next... Considering the next play is at least 4-point body, it doesn't change the fact that you allowed your opponent to start growing something already.
Yeah, exactly. Or even 6 points with the Maxi coming out here. We see Verification, Sigvald Heatwave near the top. Not bad at all. And then you'd have the option to tutor out the Knut and the Totem as well. I didn't catch where the Dwim was.
I think it was second to last, so quite deep.
Okay, so yeah. So you would draw the Canute by round 3 if you're able to hold on till then. But then yeah, you're not tutoring both the Totem and Dwim in the same round if you held there. I think you would hold because that was very good draws. Bear is only 6 points, I guess. Kind of plays around top punish Keg. There's still Vile sitting unclicked for Lero's board, but yeah, Archie getting ahead already. And there's a lot of awkward pieces here. I don't think you want to play your location this early, especially since you don't have other cards to contest this round for a longer time. You have Olgid and Draco Turtle without that much great follow-up on either. This Necromancy might just have to pull something nice to get out of the round. Maybe it has to pull a Priest to be used with this Drakon.
And yeah, this is a potential card that goes stall. There we go. So supply it with some extra buffs from the Buchurt. So both tactics are in the graveyard. False City will have a choice. Maybe occasionally you don't really want to Buchurt if you cannot flip the city, but I doubt this version of the deck struggles with the city flip. It was more of a deck that were not running Ale of the Ancestors.
There's also Joust that it could come out in this round. I don't know, maybe Joust could kill a Canute or a bear or something like that. Which, yeah, doesn't hurt to have the additional option.
So, Necromancy. And from the bottom of the deck goes the Svolva Totem.
Interesting. So it might just be early Svalblood here, or just setting up the totem to help get out of the round even? Not too sure. I feel like this is as good a Just as any you're going to get, right? Because you're not playing additional units yourself. Although actually Svalblood for Lyria with this many units is really not looking so hot. But it is hot enough to get the round win.
Yeah, quite interesting. Later, commits a big card, and Archie doesn't really hesitate too much to pass. Maybe just feeling confident. Although, yeah, this feeling confident thing, while not playing Calvit in round 1, would have backfired, but he draws as if the Calvit was played. What is the cards that he's missing? Ivor and Tail, I suppose, with Palmering, fair enough.
Ivor would have been nice to set up here, and yeah, since you're not running the War Council, you don't have the option of playing that after the Calvit. The Calvit wasn't drawn round 1, right? So that wasn't even the option.
It was just coming to hand right about now.
Yeah. The most fun. You see, I think Heatwave is now the top card for Lyria. I don't think, opted not to mulligan away the Spores, which would have been necessary to find that Heatwave. There's absolutely no reason, I believe. Oh, actually, do you just go long round as Lyria? If so, you don't want to play KO Trolled on the dry pass here, I think, because then you give a very easy opportunity for Archie to go for the Heatwave.
Very corpses.
But we'll see.
The crabs while they still live.
Archie at minimum has to play the
I
Calvit
shall
here.
not repeat the year's mistakes.
With double toe punish, maybe you can. But like, you're locking yourself into a long round, and what are you doing if not going tall yourself? Or at least setting up some of the cards?
It's true.
I need to see.
It's gonna be a bit awkward. Okay.
Okay,
So-
here it comes down at 7, with not much of another way to really answer it. you'd
Oh, it
have to
can
use
clash.
Cage Hold, I believe.
I think Lero
Like,
is kind of signifying that he's playing deeper into that, playing the old gear on the 7 card limit.
Bapanada.
I'm not. Well, okay. So yes, there comes the Heatwave regardless. I was gonna say maybe an argument to hold the order on the Uncrate Raiders. Yeah, you play into the Joust, but then you could get the kill on a here with the leader Canute. But then again, that kind of hinges on the Ale of the Ancestors not being found yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, gonna have to Neuromancy the Canute this round to really have some proper follow-up.
Knut was
No
somewhere
crits
in the
total.
middle of the deck, so it would be drawn in the round
Yeah.
3, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
if you are committing Sigvald, you don't have the location to clash. Sure, might be forced to.
So Boost and Sigvald are interesting. The nice thing is that if you do stack a bunch of bleeding on the Sigvald, then you'd be able to just
Yeah.
click the bleeding and nuke an opposing unit whilst getting rid of your own total unit. It's actually sort of turning that into offensive value. The other thing with Canute too is that I don't expect you're actually getting that long of value out of it, because the boosts can stop it having its berserk ability naturally.
Yeah, and there are only so many leader charges and totem clicks you can commit to that.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I like that this tournament is a bit different from what we've been casting recently, as in the self-wound against Tusonto's Hospitality. I don't think was that was a rope, right?
What do you mean?
Ah no, he needed to hit something, but
Yeah,
he hit
needed-
the bronze.
Well, it's either that or the Spire Blood to actually get the damage.
Ah yeah, true.
And maybe it's better to hit the Spire Blood to have a smaller unit. Well,
Yeah, no, it's
'Cause
true.
it's
I
not much
was
damage.
it's counting the damage and the bleed is coming through slowly. Okay,
I mean,
so
like in this case, maybe it would have actually been the better play, especially with maybe a Leo follow-up. So, interesting thing is Sangreal on the pass would make Spellblood spawn a bear. So it's only like 8 damage, I guess, in a sense there.
I must admit I never really seen that happen before. I guess
So-
a lot of
yeah.
drinking might just give you some unexpected offsprings.
So this could be, yes, this is Canute. Probably knocking down the blob, I'd imagine. Yep. So Canute kind of just acting as a bit of like a reset here, saying, well, you want us, both of us, to play tall. My Canute's gonna say, no, I don't want us to play tall. I want us to play small.
Yeah, it's definitely cute, and you'd think that buffing your opponent would lead to great things, but self-wound deck actually has Knut, has this Sigvald's like order ability to play around your tall buffs onto the units that later play, so it's quite enjoyable to watch. Sadly, this is the end, or at least for now. It's part 1 of the Swole Blood is done. Now you can only bring it back with Sigrifa's Right. You still can
Like-
reset Knut. The points you got were kind of free, so you can lead
Yeah.
a charge and totem it
Yeah.
back to 5.
Yeah, and since the Berserk triggers at the end of the turn, it's quite nice in that regard, and you're also sort of eating up some of the opponent boosts. Not having an Ale of the Ancestors here, I think, is quite big for Archie. Not having that additional ability to do shenanigans You actually see, yeah, big commitment with the Sigvald, sorry, not Sigvald, Svalbard coming back, combining with this canoe a little bit. You could also just use bear damage to help reset this canoe even, but decides not to do so.
That thing was... I don't know. Things happening when Lerio is roping out, so sometimes it's planned and sometimes you don't right click, so... He killed off a one.
So now, couple of interesting implications here. The fact that the Calvite, who's only played this round, means Lerio might even just push for a 2-0. Also, Falsiri only goes up to 4 power, where Svalbard is looking to do 4 power damage to the whole board, so that's a little bit scary as well. Also, Svalbard could help kill off this canoe, which I think sounds like a decent play. But actually, Archie is really struggling now to build tall units.
Yeah.
There's only Guillaume to help with that in sort of the Falsiri. It's even hard to bring the Falsiri back unless you commit Guillaume onto it. I think Lerio is sniffing blood in the water. I think a 2-0 might be on the cards here.
He keeps spawning them bears as well. Okay, the offensive Sigvald might happen at some point as well. Is it the time? Probably not yet. No, nothing really pushing in that direction.
You can play... Guillaume can play against the old geared. It will still boost itself, but not the opposing old geared, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's particularly great here, but I think there's also nothing above 10 regardless, so... Here's the big flag.
Lerio could have triggered the bear, dealt with the ones, but not sure if he'd want to risk Knut's life, as... Oh wait, there is no joust. So it wouldn't be knocked down to the removal range anyway.
Okay, so offensive verification here. Very nice, denying the reset. And I expect this Farblood to end up being triggered. So this 6-point bear is going to turn into like a 2-point bear or something of the kind. It's still popping off. Threatening kill on the kick here once this Farblood goes through.
And I guess we'll see the last card out as well. Okay, there we go. Offensive Purify. With the cards Archer have left, no resets.
Yeah.
I guess he was like...
Even if Ivar was in hand, it would be missing its adrenaline. Very nice reset with the spores.
And now the calculation on all the explosions. You know, as you pointed out, that Ivar is not a threat here. We do see the full shenanigans. We do see some explosions. This is 23-point gap at the moment. And we're not counting Sigvald and Draka Turtle. Well, it's a 40-point gap now. And now it's over the moon.
Yeah, I mean, Archie, I think, got very unlucky. Like, imagine, like, there's a ton of tactics being run in this deck. That the Kikir, sorry, the, what's his name? Calvite was just short of being drawn in the round 1. I think second card from the top, so not having that consistency meant a couple of additional combo tools missing. Archie couldn't get it done here, and Lerio, yeah, just pushed for that 2-0 and played that really, really well, taking advantage of that small lapse in draws, and yeah, bring Herman. Congratulations to Lerio, taking the second ticket through to the Gwent Challenger.
And would you fucking guess what's about to happen? hope Community Masters 2024 were interesting enough for you to be freaking hyped about the Community Masters 2025. So that is happening. That's why metal is the god. We are running through it in 2024, but well, barring all the problems with Gwent and CDPR decisions.
Kind of really off the mark in that prediction. So Necroz's tattooing starting us off here on the blue coin. Interestingly, running the magical lamp rather than curse scroll stratagem we saw for Archie earlier. And Archie's on the Toussaint Hospitality yet again, after having not that much success against Lyria with that list. I think, yeah, hoping to have a bit of a better time against tattooing, but we saw the same matchup in the first series, and it didn't go so well for the Nilfgaard, and considering Archie is going more all in on this plan of boosting up opponents' units, the tattooing deck just going super wide is likely going to feel even worse to play up against.
Yeah. Let's see if there are some other lines to consider. In the first series it was Syndicate versus Nilfgaard, so Nequist might be changing the script a little bit here with the tattooing queue. But yeah, I didn't look at that series too closely. But I think it was the opener, Syndicate versus the Toussaint, so definitely maybe looking the previous series and considering a different queue. But let's go.
You're correct. It was Toussaint versus Syndicate there. And notably, the bans are the same as it was in the first series.
Ah, okay, so the ban script did not change, but the Q1 did. And Nequist is once again going from the blue coin, okay. But also, guys, Community Gwent Masters 2025 are happening. Just don't forget that.
Don't forget, it's always good to have at least another year and a half of great competitive tournaments coming our way. Huge shout out to Mattel for putting all this work and support behind the scenes. We wouldn't be here tonight if it weren't for Mattel.
Yeah,
Today, I guess,
we would have been somewhere under the breach, just living, barely surviving, but Metal made it all happen. I mean, playing cards, of course, not living as me and everyone. If you'd want to go and play Gwent without Metal, you'd have to do that to some shady places. But now we have a big stage, huge audience. Okay, so we have a create from Archie, but this is not really a competitive play. Like, it's not Forktail, so I don't know. Kind of feels weak, the Cursed Damsel. It's fine as a click and answer to the Hive Mind creates, the Stalker and Kikimor Warrior, of course. But buffing her to 14 a bit too much potentially as well, considering the fact that Hive Mind only has the Stalker at 3 power, and I'm not sure how much do we want to consume with it.
Yeah, there was a line, choose a 3 boost on this hatchling instead, and then you would have done precisely 7 damage with the Damsel and cleaned it nicely. Or killed a 7 power unit, which would have done the trick, but not done. And we see a Joust there killing off the Stalker. So yeah, I think those 20 Jousts are a bit too busy for you to stalk anyone properly. Just get swept away in the crowd. But this crew is looking to put together a bit of a stronger crowd, setting up this Lara Doran, and with such a huge board, looking pretty good for Nequiz with a casual 40-point lead now. Not bad at 69 points.
So 20-point swing was available from Ivor, but that's not nearly enough to close the gap. without committing another big card. And now there is a heat wave. There should be spores available if drawn. There is an interactivity of Tatawing. But at the same time, you still should be hesitant about the Beauclair new god.
This is a bit different to what we saw last series, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Lirio ended up winning the round 1 in this matchup, and then Bleeding lost the last say, and it went a little bit downhill from
Yeah, but this time around, Lara Doran was convincing enough from Nequist to put a stop to round 1 contest from Archie.
Problem is, these Night Raids aren't the best cards here at getting the swarm together, only playing for 3 bodies each. I do think you want to go for a bleed here. Or do you? I mean, you can gain access to the spores, which gives you 2 Tor Punishers. But yeah, I think taking the long round against Brooklay here is a little bit sketchy.
Yeah, maybe even with a couple of resets you are at risk. Okay, we do see full city committed immediately. For the offensive joust, answering that last piece of the hive mind. So now all the cards Nequist is playing are thinking individually. The hive mind has been destroyed.
Yes. Could just be, I mean... Okay. Interesting. Happy to get the full Siri out, saying that's enough for me.
At the same time, it's also not really free. Like you did give away the last carryover you had.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, if it's stuck, that Hive Mind would have helped kill off these Night Wraiths and swarm quite a bit more. But I guess the nice thing is that there wasn't time for the Tucson Hospitality to set up the Ale of the Ancestors on the Dry Pass, so this long round is looking a little bit less scary against them. Seeing the Morvad and this Arcade being mulliganed. Yes, Spores finally found as well. So note that the Naglfar is getting access to the Morvad anyways. Of course, Gales is shooting the Ardgaith. So kind of a bit of a non-factor there. And don't think you love having the Night Wraith here again. But, Janna's time to shine, because Kahir is melee row locked. And yeah, he should stay away from the water, let's just say that much.
So Kahir, of course, once again coming with a couple of avoided bricks. So nice of Archie to find most of the cards, no golds left in the deck, but of course Calvit is helping with that. Okay, so yeah, I like to move it, says the Drowner, and turns off the engine. Kahir did play for an extra point or 2, but this is the end of him being an influence here. The Purify doesn't really achieve much here, as the Assimilate value is also not being triggered.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the leader, I believe, which triggers, so yeah, only playing for 1. But what do you mean? Getting rid of this infusion, it's so impactful here.
Yeah, okay, excuse me.
so many points.
Okay, extra swarm coming from the natural selection.
I pledge it upon the helm.
all the you love to see this. Buffs here, there, the passive of Toussaint's Hospitality. While watching the final of the Syndicate Toussaint that I mentioned from the series yesterday, I had to rewind it a couple of times. Even chat asked for it because a lot of things are happening simultaneously. There are also infusions. But here, yeah, we've seen a bunch of buffs, but Milton is being dealt with by the Shark Khan. Okay, so the Drowner at 15. And he will not be stopped at that. Drowner goes to 25.
Yeah. So already as big as the Tatooine, so now there's no real sort of downside in playing the Tatooine before you'd have a chance to go for the like to sort of shut down the Brickler.
Self-spores and what? What is Leo? What is
yeah, it's
what are the cards doing now?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah, you are 30 points behind.
But yeah, not looking so hot either right now. There's, I guess you can. Ivar is also still swapping right now, so okay, you can get a 7-power unit to swap.
Incredible value for what, 10 P cards? Yeah.
I think it's playing for 10 points here.
10 for 10 is a fair value. We don't want to players to abuse stuff.
It's balance. Never mind Tatooine playing as like 25 for 11.
Yeah,
and granted, it sets everything else 1 power, but look at this large Lara Doran coming out.
And the points are equal, but Beauclair and Leo Bonart value did not improve. Neither did the Heatwave value. +4.
Plays the Beauclair because it's the least bad card here, but now Necklace can just play this Tatooine without playing into either of the remaining Toll Punishers. Tatooine is a free play now that this Beauclair is out, or even just goes for a Heatwave instead.
Yeah, since the Frost is stealing some points, might as well snap it. Oh look, Leo Bonart activated. Easy.
I'll do as you ask.
He will do as asked, and once again we see the Tatterwing being an answer to this Toussaint's Hospitality. Self-Heatwave. It's only fair if the opponent played the Self-Spores to Self-Heatwave and put an end to this match. And we do have Nequist taking game 1 of this lower bracket final.
Yeah, off to a very good start already. Script is quite flipped compared to the first time. You mentioned the different cues in round 1, and we can see it succeeded for Nequiz, leading 1-0. That's more wins already than was achieved in the entire previous series against Archie. And now as Archie, I mean, sometimes when I'm casting, I mentioned the mental aspect. You're just coming down from a 3-1 loss against Lear in the upper bracket. Close, potentially, like when you were tied up 1-1, was looking pretty decent. Then a couple of unfortunate losses, particularly Sangus and the Cold V, is going to be weighing on your mind. Already not great start to this series. Now you're on the back foot. You gotta now, just reset. Focus on what you can queue next. You have your blue coin. This is where your Knights has a chance to shine. And you can get out of range of the Pirates Code pulling the strings. You can try and ensure the Assimilate doesn't have a great time copying your things. I think, considering you don't have that many super great high-end golds for them to copy, yeah, the Henry might not be having a super great time. I've been really off the mark with my predictions here. I was expecting just the standard Northern Realms.
It gives more traction with the chat. People will be remembering that and making the comments shortly. Cheering for Lemon to guess at least one matchup in this final. Oh, there we go. The King of Beggars, it returns. The counter is 1, but we are not putting it on the screen, not as of now. But at the same time, unlike in yesterday's match when he was in round 1, there is at least one tribute with Shady Vendor. We do see Novigrad coming out immediately. Not a new thing, we've seen that in the competitive meta quite often. Players are playing.
Wait, did you say Novigrad came out?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I blinked and I missed it.
Yeah. Something happened. I think the card is back. It disappeared from the screen immediately. Maybe it's on my part as well.
Yeah, so
It might have been an artifact.
yeah, very, very quick gameplay here. I think this is early Hive Mind. I'm going to bring out the Warrior first this time actually compared to in the previous game. But still vulnerable to pulling the strings with the double tag from Merchant Maker, quite useful.
And yeah, this is a syndicate card, so it doesn't even feel awkward on the side of Nequiz. Look, it's orange and red, so it's where it belongs. You can't even consume the Furco, just deny yourself attack for no reason. But it's a cut up, it's amazing, like. It's a free cut up on the board.
Sure.
So you could have stolen the other. We have a blind eye now, so the 5 is the yoink from pulling the strings. This is actually a game changing if it would have been like round 3 potentially. Yeah. Just having an extra tag, having your opponent forget about it. I mean the ladder game, not in the tournament setting maybe.
I mean, even in a tournament setting they may forget about it as well. Also,
while we are looking at all of this, the Lara Doran is in hand, but she's not keeping it frosty.
No, it doesn't have any setups,
so you'll have to rely on the Stalker.
Yeah.
And yeah, the bad thing about the 1 power drones is the BGF. This gives me the flashbacks to when Swarm monsters were playable like 3 years ago. Vangit, among other players doing it in the tournament setting, but at least yeah, you have the Kikimor Stalker ping on Lara Doran, so you have to commit it and just win the round by the power of Hive Mind and Lara Doran. I think should be the end of the round.
Yeah, this time the Hive Mind is fully used up, so not going to help with any setup going into the next round. And relatively small commitment for Nequiz. I mean, okay, yes, you used the Novigrad, but you did also get the Heatwave out regardless there. Furco is just a tutor, especially with no Novigrading Justice. It's not as important when it comes to that setup. You do kind of need to draw some golds here as Syndicate though.
Jacques is incoming. There we go. Jacques Sigiruvin will have with contesting round 2 if necessary. The poisons feel a little bit lackluster, so one of them gets mulligan, but there are 2 poisons from hand, so not amazing. Drill was missed, Junior as well.
Yeah, you could always steal this Night Wraith and then self-poison her.
The beast should be born, and the blood of innocence shall flow.
Yeah, forced to lead with the Jacques. Only in phase 2, means doesn't get the Salamander tag yet. Only Firesworn right now for Nequiz. But there's already quite a bit of Swarm for Archie. I wonder if you just go for the BGF right now, do a similar play as we saw in the first round, just to force Laradorn before something like Spontaneous Evolution could also be played. Need to be maybe careful for Natural Selection, which could warrant not going much further, but I guess maybe you're happy if Natural Selection gets played here anyways, and the Laradorn is quite weak after that point.
So it's a forced play here, nothing you can do. If your drones are dying, you have to play the combo immediately. 20-point gap is not an insurmountable task for Syndicate, but start slowly stealing that Night Wraith.
Yeah, these are all at 3 power, so opportune for the current pulling the strings number. If we see any more Shady Vendor plays, problem is there's not enough coinage to play them back row yet. So that's why I see this Fisto. 7-point poisonous. Not amazing, but it's not the worst.
It could have been knocked down for pulling the strings roll, but that's not an option, and you do have poison, so you kind of have to play to your card's strengths. If poisoning is what you have to do, might as well start with it.
Yeah, pulling the strings are only at 2 now, so I don't know if it's even that great off a pull here. You still get a decent amount of profit from them. Yeah, so I mean, still 4 points on the seas, and then 4 profit. 8-point play. It's fine. With some nice forward spending, you might be able to catch up.
KOB is at 3. Poison is playing for 10, and with the spend you are getting ahead conveniently enough. Now you have to just beat more Potato Wing.
Yeah. Do have Siggy remaining. Still have 3 charges on the King of Beggars. Also quite important, I'd say, having the King of Beggars to have the additional Blind Eye tag for your collusion.
Also quite important not to take a mulligan into the King of Beggars.
True that. Mutant Makers is also important here,
chat.
giving the 5 Salamander.
We see that Necros is like, nope. No, I don't want to deal with that.
Transformation robs them of speech.
Okay, so Frost.
Bit scary, but I think Little Bird here will be able to protect quite nicely.
What's the coin situation
even...
after that? Okay, spends nonetheless, so that's Blind Eye, Fire Sworn, Salamander, Tight Cloak, 4 coins, so available back row Shady Vendor, but you also have Siggy. And at the moment you also don't have a cut up. Is it the only one? The junior? Yeah.
This card on the Naglfar's crew, Archie opting to play on interactive to not give any pulling the strings value. There's actually no more main deck pulling the strings remaining, only possible as a roll from the Shady Vendor. I wonder what we see. Yeah, you can go for the Siggy before the collusion even. This will bring the King of Beggars out. May need to spend to stop it dying if it goes front row like so. Not really ideal. This could actually be a Spores just to get rid of the Blind Eye tag even.
The blind tag is available on the Little Bird as well, so it's not influential.
Yeah. So yeah, Siggy should be playing the Cut Up and the Tunnel Drill, both guaranteed. The fact that there's actually a unit now means that the horse and excess damage is going to be quite impactful.
That's kind of annoying for Archie discard previous card, and now just because of the spores being organic, giving the cut up. Coins points for 3.
Looking very good for Nequiz. Some great little bird spending.
Also
Illusion
damage
is
is not
final
wasted
frame.
from the illusion. Yes, you have 25 and 19. But that's not good enough against Syndicate that managed to spend properly. So Spores play could have been avoided. Maybe you just play the Tatterwing. I don't know, the blind tag was on the board, so that wasn't really that important, and you could get a better... Although then you allow your opponent to split the spending.
Yeah, and yeah, it's... Yeah, I think it was... There was no winning line there in that round 3 for the Tattooing. I think he needed to play it... I don't know how, but force more out in the round 2. It was actually quite cheap, I think, for Nequiz to get out of that round 2.
We have Nequiz stuck with this Nilfgaard. Or not stuck, he didn't even play it once yet, but he has to win once with it. So no choices. And he faces Tatterwing. How is Henry against monsters? There are quite a few cards that really feel like combo pieces.
Yeah, I mean, there's some decent sort of Wayne Slam things, like, I don't know, like a She Who Knows, a Spear Tip, Egan, something like that. But you could also get King Crumb, which is literally 1 point.
Tatterwing, do you want that? Not sure.
Tatterwing, yeah. So certain things which in their own deck just do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, same with the order units.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be easy for Nequiz to get out of this without losing uneven either.
I mean, how is Archer
decent
doing
point
the
for
12 points here?
Well, if you get a spawn for like a 7
okay,
point,
yeah, the 7-point
probably
card
does the
isn't
trick.
coming. Yeah. I forgot that that's the preferable choice nowadays. In Tatterwing, I mean. When it was played in triple, either those cards I think were saved for the later, and people actually wanted a Stalker developed early, but in the Tatterwing case, it's quite often we see that Hatchling and the Worker are the two choices on the first positions. At least the way Archie plays it, and I also think Nequiz was taking similar lines. So yeah, it's close, but you were correct. Really hard to avoid losing.
Yeah, now Archie holding off on the final trigger on the Hive Mind if possible. Which, with these bronze tactics, they're just not putting the pressure on that much, although we do actually see the Stalker coming out. Granted, with how tall these units are, it's not having an easy time getting the damage, but it's probably just gonna be used to kill off the Lara Doran, and yeah, that's a round win for Nequiz. A bit surprised by that. I didn't feel like that was forced to play the Lara Doran there, like you could have gotten ahead very easily with Spores even. Spores might have even just been enough, and I would expect Lara Doran to be worth more having her at 1 power for the second round. But yeah.
Yeah.
That did not feel necessary at that point in the game. Unless, like, is there a reason that Archie really wanted the round to win at that turn? And
maybe
not
he
for it to go
didn't
on
feel
maybe
like
longer?
he'll get Lara Doran, like if he is forced to continue playing, and there is no Frost, and your Stalker is dying, maybe then you're just not capitalizing on this form, but I'm not certain.
I guess, yeah, both organics would have spawned the Stalker anyways. Yeah, if the Stalker died, no trigger, okay, that makes sense then. well thought out. So, starting to swarm again in the round 2, Whisper's Tribute. Getting to the nest together, building up the Arrakis nest. Not sure what it's made out of. Birds build their nest out of twigs and stuff. Don't think I want to know what the Arrakis nest is made of. Here comes the Rune Mage. Going for Northern Realms, maybe hoping for like a Trebuchet or
Arbalist,
Reinforced
but
Ballista.
not enough order units would have been clutch, but he also dies immediately.
Anyways. Here's the Henry. Nilfgaard spawns. I mean, you can just give Kingslayer at this point with Highmind gone. It's not particularly helpful.
Bratton's also, I guess, Kingslayer might.
Yeah.
Tugo. Oh, there we go. Tugo is available, but Kram and also Yaga as the point slam cards. No real Death Wish, but well, Dagon would have been nice if you could reach it.
Yeah. You could have done like a self-Vilgefortz perhaps. Here comes the Tugo. 1 point per turn Tugo, let's go. And yeah, naturally Archie really doesn't want to play the Brathens here. Not only because it doesn't play for much, but also it's really good for Nequiz to give Spying to. Or even just Leader and instantly play the Taurus in the same turn. We do see this is goals for the...
Yeah, you still need the 6 damage on, like 5 whatever damage on Laradora. So... Yeah. Passing up on Naglfar into Viper though, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah, Naglfar could be interesting if it can find maybe like the Admiral Pali, perhaps. It could also just get clogged with the finding, say, Letho and Rosen Edna. That would be quite sad.
Yeah, I was not really suggesting that as a real play before somebody gets triggered in chat. But if you watch the channel and commentary, you probably get a sense of the irony occasionally. Okay, so Hugo, even with 1 point per turn, it's already like playing for 12, and yeah, it's not like he's getting answered.
Are you cold, human insect? It won't be long now.
And if you really wanted to get the might, you could play Torres front row. Granted, I think there's no way you're playing Torres until after Archie passes, because that's just your infinite reach card, but yeah, I mean, this is like Archie can't really play the Morvid this round, I'd say, because of the threat of the Vilgefortz. Also, Morvid isn't even that big at this point in the game. Tatooine could be a play. But as immune, it's just pushes the envelope 25 points. Yeah, I think this, if Nequiz can start to get ahead, could be very, very good for him. It's actually is the Taurus coming out. So no, these get shuffled in, so if you wanted to copy certain cards, you might find them in the next round.
Rosa is interesting.
It is actually Rosa copied, as well as just Naglfar's Kuna Night Wraith. Yeah, that's why I wasn't convinced that was the time to play the Taurus. But at least your turnover's online if you feel the need to play him early, maybe a bit of setup before the Stefan. Absolutely. Saying goodbye to the Naglfar's crew here, I imagine. Okay,
Yes, it's growing and you need to leader. Because of the thing I cannot see, it's 3 power Whisper's Tribute, but yeah, the Shelmar skin is a little bit too much. Not even Brattens is probably smart against the deck that is running Terra Nova and the Spines as well. Okay, so we are doing it this way.
Bit surprised. Yeah, the Vilgefortz I'm surprised. I have a feeling Necros maybe could have just saved that for the last, say, in the next round.
He did lose on even.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Good point. It's not even that late. It's not even 10:30. I can't complain.
Nobody's complaining. We do make mistakes while casting it occasionally, but who cares? It's fine.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
all
we
about
just
the
don't-
vibe.
I guess you just turn over now, frankly. Can you do anything fun with playing the Rosa, like killing something?
He didn't get any.
You could do like kill girls and then play. No, he doesn't have devotion, so no, you can't play the Naglfar's crew.
So Night Wraith.
Why bother with two swords when you can barely handle one?
So was just giving himself a better leader, but that's not really good if you're not stealing it as well.
Yeah. Now this just looks very good for Archie, having the probably 19-point Morford now with last say.
Oi, mate, you have to click Rosa and no! What the hell?
And yeah, there's just nothing left here.
What do you mean nothing?
For,
18 cards to draw. So
Yeah.
so many things. Look at that.
Finds the Rosa actually this time. That's funny. Oh gosh, the Naglfar. Oh, that could be funny.
I mean, not like it's much worse than other things in your deck.
No.
But yeah, seems to be scripted as a win for Archie here.
I mean, these draws are really not great for Archie. Probably just go uninteractive with the odd Gaith. Discard Spores, discard Naglfar, and last St. Morvid, I imagine.
Yeah.
Although Rose is actually
yeah,
clutchy
no.
because it gives a leader. Yes. I guess
Not
you Wild
much.
Hunt Hound instead?
Yeah, should have a hound over the apprentice and a witch apprentice, as you cannot really restart it.
I'll explain.
Okay, but that's basically not even beating Morwood, and there is still a couple of cards. Your growth gains from the hound are not doing much.
Remedying to MS3 and replaying with Rosa is nice at least.
Yeah.
Problem is it does play into the spores a little bit. Naglfar could be... you take it? Okay, just goes Morford, okay, sure. Yeah, that makes sense, I think.
Highly curious case.
A highly curious case. Nah, with the frost damage, with the reset,
Yeah, it's not enough yet, but...
not really
That's cute.
winnable. Okay, so good job from Archie getting that win numero uno in this final. Also, Maimon, thanks for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Oh, we'll be happy to hear that greeting in 20 minutes. But we have ourselves a game here, so 2-1. Archie takes first step towards the challenger. And that was win with the Tatterwing, so he has knights and knights.
But yeah, quite different knights decks. Yeah, I'm really good at reading them at the end of a series, you know. So, what do we start with here? We have Immortals, and you only have the... you do have Dance Sorceress right at the left there, poking out. So I don't think Necklace is going to have an easy time really contesting this round one. Be interesting to see how it goes, probably contesting the bleed. Obsidian Mirrors could be kind of spicy.
Yeah, given you've got like a bunch of knights to copy is quite bad.
What is
So since Damsork is dying, to Joust and Immortals is potentially like a leader target, I guess. Oh, do we see? Ah, no. She's at 8. Never mind. But some cheap damage is being established here. Not really.
I'm worried about Immortals getting leaded. It's still vulnerable to a Joust leader. But yeah, Informant is a very cheap way. By clicking your own Sorceress each turn, you basically just nullify the Immortals value, because there is no shield returning on Archie's turn to click with the order, but it does come at the very end of the turn. So then you get your boost whilst boosting the Immortal by 2 each turn. So it balances out.
Your shield, sir.
And yeah, this Informant doing a nice job splitting up the boosted units to make the Knight Errant a less worthwhile play for Archie here. This could even be an early chance to go for the artifact compression onto the opposing Damned Sorceress, I could imagine.
Gentlemen, mount up.
Okay, so TA is actually used to get the grace on that Bronze Knight.
I forgive you. This time.
Points are being printed still by the Knight player without the engine value contributing too much. I think, yeah, Archie did a good job at drawing and mulliganing, avoiding the Obsidian Mirror plays from Nequist here. And yeah, if you just start playing Redanian Knights and Squires, you might be in trouble. But here we've seen that, yeah, the Damsork was on the board, but it was also a possible copy from the Informant, so never really had Nequist had a good opening for the mirroring. Does situation change in round 2, round 3? And I'd say yes. Like, you cannot avoid playing your bronze engines. Like, a scenario itself forces you to pull something out.
Yeah, so there's decent draws here for Archie, access to all of the Echo cards. Bronwyn, or Maiden's Shield technically, but the Bronwyn spawner is drawn, so you can kind of play whatever you like with this AA Neomancy. Maybe go for the Van, go for the Heat Wave, or just use AA on things like the Knight Errant. Even go for a Lock. Yeah.
As you wish.
Not really much to do for the damn sword card as of now on the board, but Knight Errant is coming in. The Maiden's Shield is coming with the shield, would have been weird otherwise, so...
This is Lydia looking for an answer. You do have the oil. I guess that's probably good. Just get rid of a body, get rid of the damn sorceress, which can turn shields into boost.
A person of trifling import, you say?
Purifying shouldn't be really of value here. Oh, not having detrimental effect, that is.
Yeah, the Thunder Turncoat is turned off, however.
Yeah.
But not a huge difference, but it's still point of damage every couple turns. So it is a bit hard now though for Archie in terms of what do you play. You go for this Knight, forced to leader to get it out of leader range, particularly impactful because of that infusion. going quite tall already. We do see Vigo now.
Into a
put a
spy
spy
between
between
the
these.
knights.
Grace will not be pleased.
Get your own knight errant set up.
Also, yeah, then a turncoat is activated. It's not being used. Trying to deny the pocket of boosted units for the knight errant.
Yeah. And this obsidian mirror not looking half bad here, I'd say either.
Still in the presence of nobility will, yeah?
Yeah, I would not be surprised if we have to see like Stefan lead a commitment here from their quiz to catch up. And then yeah, I'm not convinced how this is Henry Assimilate is actually able to win a short round. Looking forward to the round 3 because you need to commit a significant amount here. Although yes, the kill on this Maiden Shield does look up the Bronze and the Bold. Ooh, another Knight Errant. Hello.
Yes, scenario is on the board, but we do see a leader charge committed.
Still.
That's also not getting, yeah. It's not getting Nequis ahead.
Yeah, sort of tied and pointing that regard. So Iron Dart at 9 damage could be used to get a kill here. Says, I want to turn off the Vigo. I don't like having that boosted unit here. Do you just go for the Obsidian Mirror now? Like, it is kind of good engine-wise, no? Like, I don't think it's getting any better.
I suppose you have to, and starts with the Knight Errant, so that one is bordering the other. Player connection lost, please. No.
Note the very nice ordering in which the spawns went through here. By going for the Errant, then the Informant, then the Squire. The Informant blocks the Knight Errant from the damaged Squire spawn, and because the Informant's only one power, it doesn't count as damaged. The middle Knight Errant is boosting, sorry, the right Knight Errant, but the middle one is kind of neutralized with a adjacent boosted and damaged unit, unfortunately. Taurus could come in to
at least there
fix
was
that potentially.
At least there was one armor, so for now it's not too damaging. But yeah, it kind of becomes awkward for Archer. But I guess there is enough targets from the AA. No, not enough, but 2.
I'm surprised by that low. I guess artifact compression is going on to the tallest Knight Errant and then sort of saying the other 2 on as scary. So yeah, here's the Henry kind of forced, I think, because it's getting a bit long.
Bit awkward as far as positioning goes. No, it's fine.
Oops. Interesting draws. Philippa's not bad, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, and now no damage is being dealt to the knights. They finally agreed on how to proceed, and now we'll be buffing. Slightly better.
So that's 5 points passively now for Nequis compared to the 3 passive on the side of Archie. Here comes the AA. Can go for... I mean, could have gone for the Anna and then stolen the 3-power Knight Errant, no?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Is it good enough without the ability to trigger it?
Yeah, I guess worried about spying being applied, perhaps? We can tell that's not possible. But now, I mean, Torres can give spying to the Anna. I don't know if that's super great. Can give a Vincent, and then Vincent from Terra Nova just kills the Knight Errant. Okay, that's probably just the play, frankly.
Yeah. So what's the Archer situation? He does get... Wait, was it the second AA?
Yeah, the second AA
so
played for the
he only
Iranian
gets
Knight just
Iron
now.
Knight, and that's a big sword.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty big sword, yeah. And the Neuromancy too. Quite impactful, considering the Henry was played just then. Is this... Okay, I don't know if that was enough to get ahead, but
I
very
think it might
quick,
have been,
lock
yeah,
coming out.
but this is the best value you get from the compression, I guess. Archie decided to go for that.
Yes, the spine given to that Vincent as well as the Peller and Curse Knight, so just maximizing the points. Otherwise, since this Terranov was basically always just playing for that kill. In fact, yeah, I'm surprised Archie didn't just pass here, because I feel like this is just such a huge swing now.
Should be coming. Like, no way.
Yeah.
You are letting your opponent go.
Taking the time to think through the options, but look at this swing. So now Archie has this decently big Iron Knight at 13 damage right now. And Neuromancy can play either Heatwave or something that was spawned from this Henry. I'm not convinced that Vincent or Ivar are looking particularly impactful. Does this Vincent get kept? It seems very awkward to keep.
These signs can mean but
Okay,
one
and Neuromancy has to find a unit here. And if that unit dies, then that's just game. And that's a lot of damage in Necklace's hand here. So what do you play? Wait, this dies. Hang on.
Hang on. Wait a second.
And if I
It's like
Wait,
not.
this
not
is-
this is the.
what then?
This
That's game.
never matters. Yeah, this is a godsend Vincento.
Oh gosh, I mean, no matter what unit was played, there was spying into Vincent. I guess that was part of why it was kept. I mean, that draw with Vincent going to the top after the tour is crazy. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
We just witnessed something. It was nasty, but this is Nilfgaard with Henry. We mentioned to you before that it gets spicy, but I'm not sure Archie can tolerate this level of spiciness. And we have 3 or 4 players figured out for the Gwent Challenger, Community Gwent Challenger, coming at you July 13, but before that we'll have another set of qualifiers finding the 4th player, so that was very enjoyable, but not for Archie, like in this last game I'm pretty certain.